If you're ever on Fred's bass boat, you'll quickly see how decked out it is with all things Garmin, from his trolling motor to his Garmin mapping units, and today he's showing us how he relies on Garmin electronics while he's fishing, specifically Garmin Livescope, for finding and catching fish faster and easier than ever before.
You know, I was pretty fortunate to get on the Garmin Livescope bandwagon real early when it first came out. And it was almost one of those things I didn't want the rest of the world to know, because it gave me a serious competitive advantage. Now, of course, you know, guys have caught on and there's a lot of people running it. If you haven't run it, it's well worth the investment. It's gonna help you catch a lot more fish. And in the sport of fishing, you've got to have that edge to be successful. Okay, hey look, I actually am sitting on top of some fish right here. I just dropped my drop shot going down. You can see that fish right there is looking at it. You can see how they kind of chased it. Whatever they are, they were interested in it, you know? They're interested in the falling of whatever it was, but okay, look. Oop, that one chased it. All right, now we've seen the behavior of these fish, I'm gonna change up and try something that might actually catch them. So I'm gonna grab a bait, in my mind, that those fish will be able to react to. Blade bait. I have no idea what's going on down there except for what Livescope has shared with me. So we're gonna try that, and then we might even try, secondly, an ice jig. Those two baits, by the way those fish were vertical going up and down on my drop shot, but weren't really hitting it, makes me believe they're probably not largemouth bass. They're probably striped bass. Something, I'm not even sure if they live here, but by the way they were chasing the weight, but not really eating the bait, something like that might get them to attack it. So I'm gonna try to drop down on these fish. Oh, they're right on top of one right now. I got one. That was pure Livescope right there, guys. You know, looking at the attitude of the fish, I really have no idea what lives down here, but by the attitude of the fish on my drop shot, my first thought was these aren't largemouth, these are striped bass. When could you look at your sonar and call your shot like that? How cool was that? You know, we saw on Livescope, we saw the fish go down on the drop shot, but they were looking more at the weight than the worm. Their attitude told me, hey, these aren't largemouth bass, these are something else. And so I reached in my tackle box, cut off the swim bait on another rod, tied on this blade bait, immediately dropped down. And what I thought they were was exactly what they were, striped bass. And we figured out a pattern. We figured out how to catch those fish pretty quickly, all because of the technology of Garmin. That right there is why I use Garmin, both hunting and fishing. You know, to make a trip that we knew we were gonna come out here and do some filming and educate you on Garmin, but to catch fish in a short amount of time is exactly why I use Garmin. And we're gonna get back out and do a little hunting this afternoon and hopefully use the zero sight on my bow and get a nice buck. So again, Garmin is more than Garmin in electronics, it's a lifestyle.